So, hey everyone, welcome to this amazing channel. Today we are going to build a retrieval augmented generation application. Or we can say our private GPT for our document. Okay, so let's get started. So these are the main files which we need to build our application. Our first file is app.py, which is our main file and contains all the code for text embedding and generating responses using LLM. Before starting it, let me give you a small recap on how this retrieval system works. Before we start coding this system, let me explain how it works. Retrieval Augmented Generation, RAG, is a term used for retrieving information from your own documents. It's a fancy term for an old concept in the field of information retrieval. To summarize, you need a knowledge base or documents from which you want to retrieve specific information. Typically, you chunk these documents into subdocuments. For each subdocument, you compute embeddings. These embeddings are numerical values that help us determine which documents are the closest matches. Normally, you store these embeddings along with the original chunks in a vector store. However, you don't actually need a vector store in most cases. I'll show you how to achieve this without using a vector store. Now, this part is called the knowledge base creation part. When a new user query comes in, you compute the embedding for the same query. Then, we perform retrieval on the vector store. Essentially, we want to find out which documents are the closest matches to our user query. In the vector store, we find and retrieve those documents, append them to the initial user query, and pass them to the LLM language model. So, you get the query plus the relevant documents or chunks, and the LLM will generate a response. This part is called generation, and the entire setup is called retrieval augmented generation. Next, we have our HTML file which contains the basic code of HTML for logo width and height. Next is our requirements file which lists all the packages required to run our application. In this, we have LangChain, which is a framework used for connecting or making a pipeline for our LLM model. We use PyPDF for reading the PDF file. We use Streamlit as our UI framework and Feis which serves as a vector store. And in the .env file, we have our OpenAI API key. Okay, in the code we have two options, either we can use OpenAI LLM or we can also use Hugging Face LLM model. That's why we have two options here. I'm going with OpenAI. For the OpenAI API key, you just have to go to the OpenAI platform. Click on the first link, then go to the dashboard. And in the sidebar, you have the option for API key. Here you can create your OpenAI API key. Okay, now we can start. First we have to create a new virtual environment, so that all the packages install inside this. For creating the environment, we use conda create -n then your environment name. If your system does not have conda installed, you can refer this video for installing the conda without any error. I will provide all the link in the description. After creating the environment, we activate it by using conda activate, then your environment name command. Okay, now we are going to install all packages and framework listed inside our requirements file. You can install the packages one by one, or you can use one simple command to install all packages by once. For this we use pip install -r requirement.txt. This command will install all the packages to your virtual environment. While our packages are installing, let's go for a code review. First, we use Streamlit to build our web user interface. Streamlit is a fantastic tool for creating web apps quickly with Python. Next, we use .env to load environment variables. This is particularly useful for storing sensitive information, like API keys, in a secure way. By using a .env file, we keep our sensitive data separate from the main codebase. To read PDF files, we use the PyPDF2 library. This allows us to extract text from PDF, which we can then process and analyze. Think of it as our way of feeding the application with content to work with. We then use the character text splitter from the LangChain library to split the extracted text into manageable chunks. This is important because processing large texts in one go can be inefficient. By breaking it down, we can handle the text more effectively. For converting our text into vector representations, we use embeddings. The code includes two types of embeddings, OpenAI embeddings and Hugging Face instruct embeddings. Embeddings are essentially a way to transform text into numerical representations that capture the meaning of the words. To store these vector representations, we use FAISS, a library for efficient similarity search and clustering of dense vectors. This allows us to quickly retrieve similar pieces of text when needed. We use conversation buffer memory to store the context of our conversation. This is crucial for maintaining a coherent dialogue, as it allows the model to remember previous interactions and provide more relevant responses. Finally, we employ the conversational retrieval chain from LangChain to integrate all these components. This chain enables our application to retrieve relevant information from the knowledge base and use it to generate meaningful responses in a conversation. Lastly, we use custom HTML templates for our web interface, ensuring that the user experience is both functional and visually appealing. Now, we are going to dive into a key function in our code. This function takes a list of PDF files as input. It starts by creating an empty string to store all the text. It then goes through each PDF, opens it using PDF Reader from the PDF2 library, and extracts the text from each page. All the extracted text is combined into one string, which the function then returns. This extracted text can be used for further processing or analysis in our application. Okay, so now this function uses character text splitter to divide text into smaller pieces. It takes a large text block and splits it into chunks of about 1000 characters each, with a 200 character overlap to maintain context. This makes the text easier to process and analyze later. The getVectorStore function takes text chunks as input. It first generates embeddings for these chunks using the OpenAI Embeddings class. These embeddings transform text into numerical representations. Then, it creates a vector store using FAISS, which stores and indexes these embeddings for efficient similarity search. Finally, the function returns this vector store. And this function is crucial for efficiently retrieving relevant information from text. The getConversationChain function creates a conversation chain using a language model and a vector store. First, it initializes a language model, chat OpenAI. Then, it sets up a memory buffer to keep track of the chat history. Finally, it combines these components into a conversational retrieval chain, linking the language model with the vector store for efficient retrieval of relevant information during conversations. The function returns this conversation chain, enabling our AI to maintain context and provide accurate responses. The handleUserInput function takes a user's question as input and processes it through the conversation chain. It retrieves the AI response and updates the chat history. The function then iterates over the chat history, alternating between user messages and bot responses. It uses HTML templates to display the messages in the Streamlit interface, ensuring a clean and user-friendly chat experience. The main function, the core of our chat application that processes multiple PDF. This function sets up the Streamlit app, starting with loading environment variables and configuring the page. It initializes session state variables for conversation and chat history to ensure they persist across interactions. The main interface includes a header and a text input for users to ask questions about their documents. In the sidebar, users can upload multiple PDF, and upon clicking Process, the function extracts text from the PDF, splits the text into chunks, creates a vector store, and sets up the conversation chain. This comprehensive setup allows users to interact with the AI and get responses based on their uploaded documents, making the app both interactive and efficient. So, that's all in this code. Now let's test our application. To run Streamlit web app, we use Streamlit run, then your main file name. Afterwards, we get a localhost URL. Open this URL in your browser. Okay, so here's our application web UI. You can upload the document from sidebar. Click on Browse File to upload the document. For example, I choose a research paper based on retrieval argument generation. After this, we have to click on Process. In this process, our document is embedded to our vector store. After it is done, you can ask any question related to your document or any other thing. For instance, I ask tell me about RAG according to the document which I have provided. In short time, it provides the answer to our query and it works pretty well. This application is very helpful if you have very big document and want to retrieve bunch of information. In this video we used the OpenAI API key. But in the future video, we do all thing locally without any API. So, this is Simplify AI. And I hope you like this video, and if you want more video on latest advancement on AI around the globe, you can subscribe our channel for future updates.